Afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Albert Rodriguez. I'm the manager of the Veterans Resource Center here at JP College. We're excited to be partnering with our community partners, Calvet, to be bringing this workshop to you all. In the VRC, we heard a lot of rumblings about some of our student veterans who would like to start their own business after they graduate from JP College. So we thought this was a very appropriate conversation to have this afternoon. Here at JP College this week, we are celebrating our
Uh-oh, did we lose Mr. Rodriguez there for a second? I know sometimes that it can be bad internet connections when there's inclement weather. Can you hear me okay, Jana? Am I still connected?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
absolutely.
Looks like he's back on.
Hello again, Mr. Rodriguez.
Sorry, yeah. So yeah, if you're near the Rancho campus and would like to swing by 11 to 1 o'clock, we're having a barbecue, hot dogs. Come on by. I'll hand it over to Sean Campbell from our CalTAP partners.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. I'd like to take a moment and welcome everyone for being here. I recognize that sometimes when there's inclement weather, the connectivity sometimes drops a little bit because cell phone signals aren't working the way they're supposed to be and the internet doesn't do what we all want it to do. So I really appreciate everyone's patience. We got some really good presenters working with us today. We've got Merlene, Cherie, Jana, Mr. Fong from SCORE, and myself, Sean Campbell. We're going to talk to you about some of the different things that you have available, some of the different tools and programs to help you successfully manage that business that you either are in the beginning stages in bringing that dream to fruition, or maybe you're just putting some pieces of the puzzle together, or maybe you have a business now and you're looking for some more tools and some more opportunities. This would be a great moment for you to explore a lot of the options and programs that are out there. And I just want to take a moment to thank all of my teammates for joining me and for helping put this together. As far as we're concerned, we want to make sure that you get the maximum amount of information possible. So you'll notice that the chat feature may be disabled because we want to use that to push information and links towards you. We asked if you have questions, you use the question and answer tab. So that way the different presenters can look at those questions and answers as they're coming in and give you the best information, because we want to make sure that we maximize your ability to get the information that you're looking for. My name is Sean Campbell, and I'm a husband, I'm a father. I spent 8 years as a sailor in the Navy, and I had some really fun times. There's a lot of different things that we do throughout our lives. And part of my role here as a state employee is just to tell you about some of those different opportunities that are out there for veterans, for their families, and for people just like trying to get this information to better their businesses. So I specifically work for a program called CalTAP, and CalTAP is designed to inform and connect veterans of all eras to their state benefits and the federal benefits that they've earned. And we want to make sure that we provide you that continued support and assistance through the various moments that matter that you're going to encounter throughout your lifetime. We've identified 5 different pathways that we like to educate people with and to help in that spectrum: core curriculum, education, employment, entrepreneurship, which is part of the segment that we're talking about today. And we like to make sure we inform people about the wide variety of service providers that are out there to help veterans and their families. There's a lot of different support options that are out there for you. We like to drive people towards our website because there's a lot of great information there. We've got Instagram and Facebook and a lot of different tools to help reach out to. We really recommend that you take that moment to use a non-DoD email address so we can reach out to you and enroll and register in our social media. But also we have a really awesome newsletter that comes out every month just to help maximize the amount of information that's out there for veterans. We also do encourage you to participate in our surveys because we want to make sure that as we're growing and moving, that we're making those evolutions and adaptations to get you the information that you need. I talked a little bit about the 5 pathways. This is what the landing page on our website looks like, and it just helps you navigate to the different pathways. This will give you the ability to view videos or look at PDFs and get that information 24/7 access, so you can really learn at your own pace. And I want to guide you towards the bottom of the page. It's kind of hidden, so you can see a red circle, the webinar archives. It will really let you access some of the previous videos that we've have and the previous webinars that we've shown. Because if you have a question or you want some more information, sometimes there's already been a really good, well done presentation about it. So go back. I encourage you to go back and look for those as well. So when it comes to California, there are some specific benefits geared towards California veterans and their families. The college tuition fee waiver for the dependents of disabled veterans. If you have a disability rating of 0% or higher, it just helps you navigate away from a lot of the fees that exist. And we really encourage the veterans to use their tuition benefits. And this is something for the veterans' dependents and immediate family members for that are connected with the veteran. Veteran designation on your driver's license to help you unlock a lot of benefits you may not be aware of by having that designation on your driver's license. Motor vehicle registration fee waiver if you have a mobility related disability that's 100% related to mobility. Once you have that eligibility, the DMV will remove the registration for one of your vehicles. There's also reduced hunting and fishing licenses, as well as special days designated for veterans just for hunting. So if that's something that you're really into, California has a lot of opportunities for that as well. If you have that eligibility, there's no cost state parks passes and property tax, as well as business tax exemptions. With the property tax and business tax exemptions, because there are so many different counties, there's like 58 counties in the state of California, we really recommend that you speak with the county assessor's office so you can get the best answer. But navigating towards those benefits is part of what those videos and the websites there to help you with. If you look on the right side of this page, you'll see the different divisions that are in within the California Department of Veteran Affairs: home loans, the women's division, minority division, long-term care, and cemetery. So there's a lot of benefits that you and your family have earned. And it's my role, as well as the role of my teammates, Jana, Merlene, and Cherie, to help navigate you through all those benefits that you've earned. This is the California Veterans Resource Book, and my teammate's going to drop a link into the chat so that way you can access this as well. Excellent tool. One of my counterparts calls it the bucket of benefits. There's just chock full of information to help you navigate towards the things that you've earned. And this is what our monthly newsletter looks like. This is just a snapshot of some of the things. This one's from September, so it shows some of the previous webinars that we've had up. We always recommend that you take a moment and you visit va.gov. They just put in an app, so you can also navigate it using your phone as well. And it just really helps streamline for your healthcare, education benefits. If you have a claim, or if you're looking for different types of records, it's an excellent online tool to help you navigate through those things. This is my contact information, and I absolutely encourage everybody to drop me an email or give my team a phone call if you've got questions or you're looking for more information. Next up is Merlene. Hello, Merlene. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Sean?
I'm great. It's good to see you again. You know, I really want to take a moment to thank you for joining us, because I know there's a lot of, with Veterans Day coming up, I know there's a lot of presentations going on. So thank you again for joining us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. So as Sean said, I'm the local interagency network coordinator for the Inland Empire. Next slide, please. As you can see from the map here, we have a pretty large district for me. I do travel, like Sean was saying, all throughout this region. I'll go to Inyo, Mono counties and Riverside, San Bernardino. So earlier today I was at 29 Palms. Yesterday I was in Kaipa at Crafton College, but I go to all these different colleges, and I'd love to come to your college. If you need any books or if you need any assistance, feel free to reach out directly to me. And you can tell from the map, everybody here has their own area of jurisdiction, and all of us are expert in various different things within our network and in our area of jurisdiction. Can you show the next slide, please? So what we do as Links is we reach out to service members, veterans, and their families. We make referrals and work directly with established service providers. And we also assist with local emergencies. As you could tell from the slide, if my coworker calls out sick, I'm going to a different part of California, especially with local emergencies. If we need to relieve a link that has been there for a couple of weeks at a time, I'll go to a different area to let them have some days off or whatever. We also provide leadership and advocacy to the local community. So I'm at all of the director meetings. I'm always in the know. So if you need something, feel free to reach out to me. Next slide. So here are some of the different agencies that I've contacted. EDD, if your veterans are looking to find a job, at the American Job Center. I have contacts at the CVSO offices, at Calvet, at the VA medical centers, at the vet centers. So in every different department within these agencies, I also have contacts. Next slide. So this is my area. This is my contact information. Go ahead and email me. I don't see my cell phone number on there, but I'll go ahead and leave that in the chat. So thank you so much for letting me talk to you today and tell you about what I do as a link.
Thank you so much for joining us, Merlene. And I believe your contact information is also going to be on the last slide as well when we get to that part. So
Perfect. Yeah. And just make sure that if you are emailing me, it's Merlene, not Marling, as the slide says there.
oh, apologies for that typo. Veterans and entrepreneurship. So let's talk a little bit about veterans and what it means to be an entrepreneur. When we're talking about veterans and veteran-owned businesses, you're looking at about 2.5 million different businesses in the United States that are owned by veterans. And when you're motivated to move your product, especially when your product is you, whether you're trying to build robots or you're making the next online dating website, there's a lot of information that goes through all those things. A lot of those veteran-owned businesses are in California, about 10% of them. And one of the questions that we always start with is, how do I start my business? The 5 steps that we really want to revolve around are developing a solid business plan, making sure that you decide where you're going to locate your business. Is it going to be something that's a physical location, or is it going to be a terrestrial business? Sometimes being on one side of the county line or a city line makes a huge amount of difference. Choosing your business structure and making sure that you file your tax and employer information. Obviously, we want to make sure we obtain all the necessary licenses and any necessary permits that are out there. So when we're talking about the different resources that are available, this is a great list of California small business resources that are available for you. California Secretary of State's office, this is kind of where your dream really officially starts. Naming your business, looking for filing tips, all those things are going to be done within that office. The Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development, GoBiz, they've got a lot of incentives. If you're looking for regulatory or site compliance, maybe you're going to export things outside of the state and you need assistance, this is a great tool to use to help you with that. California Office of Small Business Advocacy, this is about innovation and growth, where you get that direct support and having someone, that actual voice of small business advocacy working with you. California Grants Portal is a hidden jewel. There's a lot of money that California sets aside for businesses, and Mr. Fong's can go into a lot of details about these kind of things. So I want to make sure that we just have this list for you, and my teammate will put it into the chat as well. Department of General Services and Cali Procure. These are really when you're going to do business with the state of California itself. As a customer, the state of California is always going to make sure that if it writes you a check as a business, that check's going to go through. So it's a good customer to have. Some of the small business federal resources that are out there: the Small Business Administration, Veterans Business Outreach Center, the VBOC. This is going to be for really focusing on veteran themed businesses. And then SCORE, which we have a representative from today, Mr. Fong. He's going to go into a lot of fun facts about the organization and what they can do to make your business really thrive. These are some non-government based resources, and there may be a fee included with these, but it's good to be aware that there are a lot of other resources available out there for you as well to help your business grow. And as I said before, my teammate's going to drop a lot of this information into the chat. And if you're looking for a PDF version of these slides later on, we can make those available as well. So some of the certification programs that exist for the state of California and for the federal government, disabled veteran business enterprise, the small business certification, and then on the federal side, you've got the service disabled veteran owned businesses. So what they're looking for is the state level certifications and federal certifications. So what's the difference between these? Well, one is for the state and one is for the federal government, but also they're looking at least 51% of the business being controlled by a veteran with a service-connected disability rating. So with the federal side, that service-connected disability rating is going to be 0% or higher. With the state side, they're looking at a federal disability rating of 10% or higher. And then there's some limitations you can see at the bottom of these two lists, including that with the California side, the veteran has to live within the state of California. The business got to be within the state. But some of the benefits of these programs are that both the California state and the federal government, they're looking for that 3% goal. That means that their goal is having 3% of their contracts being written are guided towards the businesses that are run with these kind of certifications. One of the cool things about California as well is that they have a reciprocity program. And with the reciprocity program, it enables you to get on that California roster with Cali Procure, and then they disseminate and share that information with the local counties and then the cities as well. That's really going to maximize the footprint that your business is going to have when it comes to marketing and sales. And that can be a game changer in a lot of situations. Again, this is my contact information and my phone number. But I really want to take this moment to welcome Mr. Peter Fong and thank him for joining us today. Hello, Mr. Fong. Give him a second to turn on his camera and his mic. Mr. Fong is the...
See if I can get my camera to work here. There we go. Well,
There you go.
well, good afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for your service, number one, and thank you for inviting me here today. As a service-connected veteran myself in the Navy, I served in Korea for United Nations for several years. It was a great tour, and I loved it. And I started 4 businesses as a veteran. And in 1980, and the other gentleman that started a business about the same time I did, down in the financial crunch, was Bill Gates. The problem is Bill made more money than I did. So let's talk a little bit about SCORE. SCORE has been a resource partner to the U.S. Small Business Administration since 1964, providing business resources, education, and mentoring. Next slide. We're going to go through these. Here's a little bit of my bio, and you can read that later. And we go to the next slide. And next slide, we'll talk about SCORE. Again, this gives a little snapshot of who we are, our mission, our vision. And next slide. And we can help small business providing free mentoring, offering low or no cost business training, and sharing free business templates and resources. This is important. I'll talk about that a little more later. Next slide. We have over 13,000 volunteers across the country. And not only that, we're in 1,500 communities, and we're right here in the Central Valley in Sacramento. And we have several locations in California. Next slide. What we did in 2021, we created over 25,000 businesses, created 97,000 new jobs, and more importantly, 58,000 clients with increased revenue. Next slide. So how can SCORE help you? Next slide. We provide mentoring. Mentoring is critical for a new person. I've got a business idea. Now what do I do? Do I need a business plan to start a business? No, you don't. But you do need a business plan if you want to have a sustainable business. And we try to keep it simple. You're kind of in business for yourself. but not by yourself. With all the resources made available to you today, and through CalVet, I think, and other resource partners out there, you don't have to go it alone. We provide personal mentoring, one-on-one. We have a veterans protege program that's helping vets. More importantly, they have walked in your shoes and have gone through some of the minefields to get a business started. Can we go to the next slide, please? The benefits of mentoring is that we provide specific resources you need one-on-one. Every business is a little different. We have a variety of businesses out there, and I'm always asked, what are the up-and-coming businesses out there? It really depends on the veteran and what they have a passion for. Just so you're kind of in the same industry type of thing, and we can transition that and put some business skills to that to make it operational where you can make some money. It avoids a lot of timely, costly mistakes in learning, expenses unnecessarily, and that sort of thing, where you feel confident and have an experienced resources available for you. And it's been a proven model to start and succeed. Next slide. There are many local workshops that you can go to. You can go to score.org and type in the search engine at the top there if you want grants for veterans. And we actually have a Veterans Hub Center specifically for veterans at score.org. And you'll see the Veterans Hub Center in there with all the resources in there for veterans, how to start a business and sustain a business. Next slide, please. There are many tools available to you, but which one do I need? Hook up with a SCORE mentor, and we will guide you in there. We have a library. There's live webinars, recorded webinars. If you see something you like and you missed it, go to the library and you can recapture it. We have the #1 blog in the country for business, and you can subscribe to that. We have one coming up in January. We're the top 10 businesses for 2023, and that's well attended. Infographics is a unique and targeted information that is really helpful for you. And our newsletters, stay abreast of what's happening in businesses today, and what the business climate is, and what's trending and what's not trending. Next slide. And like I said, don't go it alone. There's a lot of resources. You know, Sean talked a little bit about the procurement program with DGS and Caltrans. We just signed an agreement with them to do certifications for veterans and small business enterprises, and helping you not only do your capability study, but to provide you with the right profile and the UN code if you're doing business. A lot of businesses become certified, but they never get a bid. And it really depends how your coding is, and we'll go over that with you with the trained veterans protege that you can work with. So some of the critical topics we're talking about is, now that we built the business plan, we got the marketing plan, now how do I get my customers? You want to be selling something that the state is buying. We've had people come in and get certified in the business state of California, and there's a woman-owned business. And I says, "What are you selling?" And she says, "Tequila." Well, there's probably a niche market out there for the tequila, but on the website, they're not buying tequila. A lot of the online resources are available to you, and more importantly, these are free. This is your tax dollars at work, and we'll provide those for you at no cost. Next slide. So for those of you that want to participate with SCORE, there's different ways you can participate. You go to the next slide. You can serve as a volunteer. We have many hats you can wear, would be marketing, outreach, mentoring, workshop facilitators, community outreach, and that sort of thing. Next slide. And this tells what a volunteer can do. We get a lot of people come in and volunteer that are in business, and what they learn, it's kind of a two-way street. They also learn how to really grow their business because of the resources that's provided by them learning in our library and helping others. So there's a lot of benefits in volunteering. So it's kind of a two-way program, and leadership programs available for you. Next slide. And you can simply go to find a mentor. Just click here and you'll get a mentor assigned to you. We get those requests within 2 minutes, and a mentor will be assigned to you within 24 hours. And then you can always go in here and volunteer. So our Vet to Vet program, we have a special event coming up coast to coast on November 17th, and we'll be sure and publish that for everybody. This is where any veteran out there can come in and talk about their business and the necessity, and we'll have all kinds of panelists in the room. I'll be one of the panelists on there, and we can tell you how to start a business or find the resources, and we can hook you up with a veteran and a vet to vet to help you start your business or grow your business. Next slide. So Central Valley, you can go in here and see a lot of these. We have some upcoming events, funding sources, simple steps to hiring your first vets. And again, the 17th is live Q&A for veteran entrepreneurs. And this is a new partnership with Google that we've had on December the 1st, is GYBO, Grow Your Business Online. And this is a professional domain, website, email for your business. And for veterans out there that don't have a website, this would be a good segue into learning that. And this is through our partnership with Google. And we'll hook you up with a Google veteran entrepreneur that can help you do that. Next slide. Some of the SCORE resources on here is find a mentor. Again, I said there's a veterans hub on there, tools and templates, and there should be a hire a hero link in here. Next slide. This website, for anybody that's looking for a job, go to yougotheroes.com. This is better than a Google search, and these employers are verified by LinkedIn. When you do a Google search, a lot of these businesses are out of business. These are all verified by LinkedIn. It gives you the profile of the employer, who they're hiring. It just doesn't go to HR. You can go right to the main owner of the company that's hiring veterans. And a lot of these companies receive a lot of grants and resources to hire veterans, specifically to hire veterans out there. So take, and you can just go to the site and you can narrow this down by state, county, and city, and zip code, and by industry. So take advantage of it for those that are looking for employment out there. This is better than a Google search. Next slide. And that concludes our presentation today, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fong, for joining us today. You know, I do have one question that I'd like to bounce off you. After running 4 different businesses, what do you feel is the strongest lesson that you've learned from being such a dynamic person with 4 businesses? What's the strongest lesson that you've learned?
Don't be afraid to fail.
That says a lot. Don't be afraid to fail. I also heard you go over a lot about templates.
Yeah, people won't start a business because of the fear of failing. There are many failing businesses that became very successful. So there's always a fear of the unknown out there. If I do this or that, you just want to cut your odds down and not lose money. So set aside X dollars. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna do something else.
That's actually like the coolest thing. That's really cool. You also mentioned something about templates. Can you expand on that a little bit more? Because I know that for me, when I've tried to fill out information in forms with the government, how important are those templates for people when they're first starting off their businesses?
Templates is a variety of range of templates. Probably the most difficult one is trying to do a business plan. Many of us are so busy trying to start a business that we kind of stumble in doing the business plan. We call the BMC. It's a one-page business model canvas. It's 9 boxes in there. And if you can fulfill those 9 boxes, that is kind of your outline for your business plan. We use that and we go over each of those 9 boxes from what you want to start a business with down on paper, because we can't help you unless we know where you're going. Not only that, that will give you direction and drive your purpose on what you're trying to do in your business. And then from that, we'll go and write the business plan. But you've got an outline. So many people get buried in a business plan and we never see them again. I mean, it's difficult. So use the BMC and we'll teach you how to use that. We actually have a little YouTube video and learning instruction on it. Probably 70% of the people that do that have started a business versus 2%. So I like the odds. The other template that is so critical to you is what we call the financial projections. It just seems like everybody drops off the planet Earth when it comes down to financial projections and accounting. And I ask every entrepreneur out there, do you love money? And of course they do. Why would you want to go in business, right? If you love money, you'll learn how to do this because you got to know where the money's going. Where is my cash flow going? So it is probably the most difficult thing to learn, but once you learn it, you will be successful. You can hire an accountant to do that. You can hire a bookkeeper to go do that, but you own the business. You can't abscond that duty to anybody else but yourself. So if you love money, the accounting and the financial projections are so critical. But there are many tools in there, from marketing, your how to do your target marketing. Who is your target market? It's not everybody. So how do you define your target market? And there's templates to show you how to do those sort of things. How do I do a website? What social media is right for me? Social media is not for everybody, but you can make a selection on there. So there is just there's a link on there that says tools and templates, and you can actually search by topic in there, what you want to learn. So we kind of scale that down on the website for you, because going into a website with that so many resources, you get lost. Get a mentor, have be specific with you, what you need. Don't get lost in the hamster cage of information, and that just bogs people down and drives them frustrated. And we want to keep it simple. So if you keep the business simple to make money, the more money you make, the simpler it gets.
Absolutely awesome. I know for me, having someone look over my paperwork and go, just give me that thumbs up and say, hey, you did it right, or giving you that soft correction before you submit anything to the government, that's super helpful. And having an organization like yours and being able to have that mentorship available to walk you through the process, I really do believe that changes outcomes. So I just want to say thank you, and thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and have fun. Whatever you're doing, have fun and make money. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for joining us. Jana, my teammate Jana is on with us today. I just want to make sure, Jana, did we have any questions from the group? And I want to make sure they give some time and open the floor for any questions that are out there.
Yeah, we actually, we only got a question about checklists and how to find one. And so that was definitely just answered. We were just talking all about that. So that was pretty much the only one. So I'll go right back to you. If another question comes up, I'll let you know.
Thank you. So if you have further questions after this webinar and you want to have a look back on some of the conversation, the contact information for the different presenters is here, and I'll make sure and come back to this screen in a moment. I do want to take just a quick second and talk about some of our upcoming events for the month of November. We have Exploring California Veterans Benefits, which is an online event coming up on the 9th. And we have an excellent presenter from the VA coming in to talk about veteran and caregiver resources on the 17th. So I would really encourage you to check out our Eventbrite page, look at the links for those different events, and please, by all means, please join us. I'll come back to this question screen, so that way, if you want to copy down information for the different presenters that were here today, and I want to give the floor back to Mr. Rodriguez, if he's available, to see if there's anything he'd like to add as we're wrapping up this webinar here.
Yeah, no, thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody who attended. Thank you for our presenters and for CalTAP for putting this on for our students. It really is a great partnership, and we appreciate you all.
Thank you so much. So there are a couple of questions here that I want to make sure I go over. Number one, will this presentation be emailed to the attendees? If you contact us by email and ask us for a copy of the PDF version of this, we're happy to, but also our social media team will usually take this information and put it on our website, where I showed you before where it says archives. Just give them a little bit of time to put it up and put it on the archives. The second question we got was, thank you, this is great, by the way, so we appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. The next question we have coming up was, would you please send email announcements with plenty of lead time? I would encourage you to check out our Eventbrite page and sign up for our newsletter. That's probably the best way to get that lead time for events. It's a dynamic world. We try to get as much time out. We try to put information about the upcoming events as soon as we can, especially right now with the way everything is so busy. So we do try to give you the most we can. Check out our Eventbrite page. I would say look at our Facebook, our Instagram, and then the college itself has got a lot of great tools and information. Get with Mr. Rodriguez as well, and he can get you some information as well about some of the upcoming events. And I want to give another minute or two to make sure that we answer any other questions that may come in. I have 2:38. So if there's no other questions that come in, then I want to give 20 minutes back to everybody today. But I definitely want to take the last couple of minutes and just thank Mr. Fong for joining us today. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, for hosting the event. Merlene, thank you so much for being able to join us. And I'd like to also thank my counterparts, Cherie and Jana, for joining us today. And of course, I definitely want to thank all of you out there for joining us in this event. I thank you and your families for your service, and I hope that you have a really good Veterans Day. It's one of those things that come up that really does take a moment to recognize all of the hard work and sacrifice that all of us and our families have done. So I just want to make sure that I, Sean, say thank you to you for enjoy your Friday. Make sure you go do something fun and enjoy it. Jana, did you have anything else that you wanted to add to the presentation before we close it up?
I didn't, I made sure to answer, oh, let's see, we got another question. I don't know if it's an email address or not, but if you, oh, good, this is what the question's about. If you just want to put your email address in the chat or in the question and answer section, I'll notate it and then we'll send you guys the PDF version of the slide deck. So that way you have all the information. And then you can always email us too. Sean and my email address are up there, or our team is the CalTAP team. So our email address is caltap@calvet.ca.gov. So feel free to email us with any questions as well. And looks like I got one email address. Mr. Lim, I'll make sure to get the information sent to you. Looks like I just got another one too. So looks like Angel, I got yours as well.
It's also on our Eventbrite page as well if you're looking for more information. Additionally, you can go and explore our website, calvet.ca.gov. And anytime you drop any information or questions into there, that'll come to us training coordinators and we'll make sure and get you whatever additional information you may need. We're going to end the webinar. Now I'll give it a couple more seconds here. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for their time.